everyone, it's DiegoDoom here. Today I'm bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing ES-Gokin Series number 12, Mazinger Z. Mazinger Z comes from the 1972 manga and anime Mazinger Z. Mazinger Z is a super robot created from the impervious metal Super Alloy Z by Professor Juzo Kabuto. Mazinger Z was created to fight the mechanical beast created by the evil Dr. Hell. Upon completing Mazinger Z, Professor Kabuto's lab is attacked and he is fatally injured. As the professor is dying, he manages to inform his grandson Koji about Mazinger Z, Dr. Hell, and the mechanical beasts. After receiving his grandfather's message, Koji bravely steps up and becomes the pilot of Mazinger Z to stop Dr. Hell and protect the world from his army of mechanical beasts. Be sure to check out the 1972 manga and anime Mazinger Z. They are iconic and absolutely fantastic. This particular figure is part of the ES-Gokin line created by Action Toys, a toy company in line with future models. The ES-Gokin line is known for creating die-cast super deformed figures of classic super robots and anime characters. ES-Gokin Series number 12, Mazinger Z, is a fantastic release in the ES-Gokin line. Mazinger Z has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a great range of articulation. Let's jump right into it and take a look at Mazinger Z himself. Mazinger Z has a great range of articulation. First, let's start with the head. We can look up, down, left, right. The shoulders have a nice range of rotation. The shoulders can rotate a full 360 degrees. Also, we can actually pull out the shoulder joint, increasing the range of motion in the shoulders, which is definitely very cool. The arms can come up 90 degrees. We have very nice single jointed elbows. The elbows can swivel. The fists are on ball joints, so we can tilt spin these freely. Now, something to note, I noticed the left forearm on my figure likes to pop out way too easily, and it can be very annoying when trying to pose this figure. I'm not really sure how common this issue is, but do be aware of that. You might have to add a tiny bit of nail polish to the socket to make sure there's the proper amount of friction in there. Moving on to the upper chest, we can lean forward, backward, and lean side to side. Moving down to the legs, initially we can kick forward this much, backwards this much, and come out to the side this much. If we pull down on the legs, it releases the hip joint, and now we can kick further forward, a little bit more backwards, and kick out to the sides a little bit higher. We have a thigh swivel. We have very nice, single-jointed, hard ratcheting knees, which is definitely very cool and satisfying. The feet can tilt and swivel, but furthermore, we can actually pull down on the ankle joint, increasing the range of motion in the feet. One thing I really like about this figure is the inclusion of a light-up gimmick. To set this all up, first you need to remove the panel inside of Mazinger Z's head and insert two LR41 batteries. The Energizer equivalent for LR41 batteries is 392. Once you have the batteries inserted and the cover back on, you can activate the light up feature by inserting either the hover piloter or the jet piloter into Mazinger Z's head. Now on my figure, for some reason it is difficult to activate the light up feature. I can only activate the light up feature on my figure by using the jet piloter, and even that takes some finessing. For some reason my hover piloter does not seat firm enough into the head to activate the light up feature. I don't think this is a common issue, and it may just be my figure, but it is something you guys need to be aware of. When it comes to the light up feature itself, I think it's great. The only issue I have is it is not as bright as I would have hoped it to be. The other ES-Gokin figures I own have really bright light up features that make Mazinger Z's look kind of dull. Nonetheless, this light up feature is great and really brings Mazinger Z to life. Mazinger Z has some great diecast content, giving this tiny figure a very solid feel. Here are Mazinger Z's diecast parts from what I can tell. When it comes to sculpt and paint apps, Mazinger Z is absolutely fantastic. Starting from the top, we have Mazinger Z's head. At the top of the head, we have the dome that has a nice, smooth, yet angular sculpt with a metallic silver paint app. At the top of the head, we have the hover piloter inserted. The hover piloter looks fantastic inside of Mazinger Z's head. We'll take a closer look at the hover piloter in just a bit. Next, we have Mazinger Z's eyes that have translucent yellow lenses and a hard black outline around them. The nose and jawline have a dark steel blue paint app. Mazinger Z's grille has a nice angular sculpt with a metallic silver paint app. On the sides of the head, we have Mazinger Z's pointed accents with a chrome gold paint app. Moving down to the chest, we have the breastfire panels with a red paint app. The upper chest and shoulders have a glossy black paint app. The forearms have a nice dark steel blue paint app. The rest of Mazinger Z's body has a fantastic super deformed robotic sculpt consisting of Mazinger Z's signature color pattern of black, metallic silver, and dark steel blue. As a whole, I think this super deformed version of Mazinger Z turned out to be fantastic. The sculpted paint apps are very well done, the articulation is great, the lighted feature is pretty good, and there is plenty of diecast. I think the SD proportions look great, and it really feels like I have one of the sprites from the Super Robot Wars games. Now, let's take a look at Mazinger Z's accessories. Mazinger Z comes with a pair of open hands, a pair of iron cutters, a pair of launching forearms, one missile, two pilders, one jet scrander, and one stand. First, let's take a look at the pilders. Both pilders are very nicely done. The hover pilder has a very nice sculpt with a vibrant red for the body and gunmetal for the turbines. Inside of the cockpit, we have a mini koji that looks nice. Unfortunately, on my hover pilder, there are some red imperfections on the inside of the dome. The jet pilder has a red paint up for the body with yellow accents. The thrusters have metallic silver ends with black accents. Inside of the cockpit, we have the same mini koji inside. Both pilders can dock into Mazinger Z's head, but they do so in different ways. The hover pilder can dock in by simply folding up the wings and aligning the pilder up with the peg in the center of the head. To attach the jet pilder, remove the wings by gently pulling backward and then inserting the retracted wing attachment. With the pilders attached, the light up gimmick will activate. As I stated before, I can only activate the light up feature on my figure using the jet pilder. I'm not really sure how common this issue is, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. Just be aware it is a possible issue. The open hands have a nice robotic sculpt with a dark steel blue paint app. The hands attach via ball joints. When removing the hands, I recommend removing the forearms so you have more room to swap the hands. Hold close to the wrist joint so the pressure is on the hand and not the joint itself. Once you pop off the fist, attach the open hands to give Mazinger a menacing grapple pose or mix it up a bit with the fists. Next, we have the pair of launching forearms. The launching forearms have the same dark steel blue paint app as previously seen. Instead of an elbow joint, the launching forearms have a trigger with a very strong launching mechanism. To set this all up, first attach the fist to the launching forearms, next replace the normal forearms with the launching forearms, and that's it. Now, with the launching forearms attached, Mazinger Z can now use his rocket punch attack. Next, we have the pair of iron cutters. On the sides of the forearms, we have two large metallic silver blades. The iron cutters attached by swapping the forearms. Now, with the iron cutters attached, Mazinger Z can cut down his foes from a distance. Next, we have our individual missile. The missile has a detailed sculpt with a very cool launching effect at the bottom. I think this is called the missile punch. If I'm wrong, let us all know in the comments below. To attach the missile, first tilt the upper chest up to give the abdomen panel clearance. Next, push the button in on Mazinger Z's lower back. This will force out the abdomen panel. Now, insert the missile following the slotted pattern, and that's it. Now, Mazinger can use his missile punch attack. Next, we have the jet scrander. The jet scrander has a fantastic sculpt with a yellow paint app for the body with red accents and metallic silver for the belt. The wings have a nice vibrant red paint app. The wings easily slot into the sides of the jet scrander body. If you want to put the wings in flight mode, all you have to do is reverse them. The scrander attaches by pegging it into Mazinger Z's lower back and clipping the belt together. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to have the belt snap together, so be careful not to break anything out of frustration. Now, with the jet scrander attached, Mazinger Z is ready to take to the skies. Finally, we have the stand. The stand has a nice hexagonal base with two very sturdy articulated arms, an accessory to help support Mazinger Z in the air with his jet scrander, and a piece to connect the base to other bases. To set Mazinger Z up on the stand, all we have to do is grab the accessory stand piece, push the peg of the Scrander through the accessory stand piece, plug the Scrander into Mazinger Z, and finally attach Mazinger Z to the stand. With the aid of the stand, we have the option to securely display Mazinger Z or put him into some good flying poses. Now, the ES-Gokin stands are nice, but they are limited. The articulated neck does not extend all that far, so it's hard to take a good shot of Mazinger Z flying in the air without catching the base in the shot. I prefer to use Act 4 stage stands to put Mazinger Z into high flying poses. Now that we have the accessories out of the way, let's do some size comparisons. To conclude the review, ES-Gokin Series number 12, Mazinger Z, is a fantastic release in the ES-Gokin line. Mazinger Z has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a great range of articulation. This figure is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. Now, I have noticed that not everyone is a fan of the super deformed look for various reasons, so I'm not going to recommend this figure to absolutely everyone. If you are a fan of SD proportions, Mazinger Z, diecast content, and love the Super Robot Wars games, then I absolutely recommend this figure to you. One last thing to be mindful of, I have seen this figure pop up for unusually high prices online as of late. I picked up both Mazinger Z and Great Mazinger new and shipped for $100. I have seen some places trying to sell these figures for $100 a piece without shipping. Be careful and do not overpay for this figure. Be sure to check out both the 1972 manga and anime Mazinger Z. They are iconic and absolutely fantastic. This has been another review by DiegoDoom. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. Check out the Facebook fan page, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and add me on Gemr. Like, comment, and subscribe.